Hello everyone. In the last lecture, we had already studied the electromagnetic spectrum as well as the different laws of absorption, which was the Lambert and the Beer's law. Now in this particular slides, we'll be studying about the most important part, which is called as the instrumentation part of the visible spectrophotometer. Now, the instrumentation part of the visible spectrophotometer is generally divided into 7 different categories. The very first category is called as the source of the radiation. Now, source of radiation will help us in selecting the electromagnetic radiation that we want to take into consideration. If we are taking only UV, then the source of radiation can be considered as hydrogen or deuterium lamp. However, in the case of visible spectroscopy, we will take into consideration the tungsten filament lamp. This tungsten filament lamp will work in the range of 375 to 800 nanometer. However, the tungsten filament lamp can measure up to 7,000 nanometer, but because we are studying only UV, only visible spectroscopy, so we will take into consideration only till 800 nanometer in this case. After that, after the radiation which was emitted from the source, it will then enter into the second part of the instrumentation, which is called as the monochromator. Now, monochromator is generally divided into 4 different sections. The very first section is called as the entrance slit. Now, what is the main reason of providing an entrance slit? Entrance slit is nothing but a door kind of an opening or a window kind of an opening wherein the radiation which has been emitted from the source will enter inside the main part of the instrument. After the entrance slit, there will occur lens. What will happen is, as soon as the radiations that have been entered or released from the radiation source, they will strike the lens, which in this case is the collimating lens. And then what will happen is all the polychromatic radiations which were present, they will then get transferred to the third part of the arrangement, which is called as grating or prism in some cases. Now, grating and prism, more and less the functioning of both of them are same, but generally for an advanced version, we make use of gratings. In this particular instrumentation part, we have taken the picture of a grating instead of a prism. Both, however, have the same functioning criteria. The only difference between grating or using grating instead of a prism is that grating will have around 1200 to 1800 grooves, which will be exactly like that of prism. So it will have a multiple bend exactly like prism, so that entire triangles can function as entire grooves can function as prisms. And then what they'll do is the entire polychromatic radiation which was being held or which was being released from the lens, passed from the lens, they will then strike the grating surface, and then they will release it in the form of Vibgyor, which is nothing but the visible spectrum range. These visible spectrum range will then move on to the last stage of the monochromator, which is called as the exit slit. Now, entire radiations that are being generated of visible spectrum, they will then release out from the exit slit, and then they will enter the third part of the system, which is called as the chopper. Now, as the name suggests, chopper is nothing, but it will help us in chopping the entire radiation that have been observed that has been obtained from the grating into 2 different sections. Now, why 2 different sections? Because one we want to pass it to the reference sample, and the other one we want to pass it to the sample solution. So what will happen is the chopper will bifurcate into 2 different radiation sources. 2 different radiations it will bifurcate. The entire radiation into 2 different radiation sets it will bifurcate. And then these radiation will pass on to the 4th part, which is called as mirror. Mirror will help us in transversing the entire rays that you have obtained into the reference solution, one to the reference solution, and other to the sample solution. Now, because we have 2 opening here, 2 different coverage of reference as well as sample, this type of arrangement is called as a double beam spectrophotometer. Okay. Now, there are 2 types of spectrophotometer. One is called as a single beam, wherein you have to first measure the value of the reference standard, and then you will take out and then fill the coverage again with the sample solution. However, with the advantage of working with the double beam spectrophotometer is that you can simultaneously analyze both the reference as well as the sample solutions. You do not have to remove one after the other. Now, because the mirror is passing the entire beam into the sample and the reference covets, so the covets generally are made up of either glass, quartz, or silica. Now, we can even work with glass covets in the case of visible spectroscopy. However, the glass covets won't function in the case of the UV spectroscopy if you want to perform it simultaneously. What will happen is the entire radiations that fall upon the reference and the sample solution will then enter to the fifth part of the sample, which is called as the fifth part of the instrumentation, which is called as detector. Now, this detector will help us in analyzing what all signals were present. There are majorly three kinds of detector. One is PMT, which is called as the photomultiplier tube. What will happen in the photomultiplier tube? As the name suggests, photons will enter the PMT tube and then they will convert themselves into electron and then they will multiply. Now, with each dynode, they will multiply the signal to twice and thrice value, which was obtained in the detector range. Then comes the another one, which is called as PDA, which is called as a photodiode array, whereas it consists of nothing but diode, which will then strike the electrons again, and then they will result into the detection of the signals. And the third one, which is called as the CCD. Now, CCD is called as a charge coupled display, wherein nothing but the silicon chamber or the silicon cells are used for the detection purpose. However, in the general usage of the detector is of PMT, other than the rather than the two of them, which is the PDA and the CCD. Now then, after the detector has detected the signals, the proper photons and the electron conversion signals, they will move on to the sixth part of the instrumentation, which is called as amplifier. Now, what is the main purpose of amplifier? Whatever detector has obtained, it will amplify it to multiple levels because the signal might be of a very minute level. So, amplifier will help us in amplifying the entire signal into treble, triple time so that the recorder, which is the last part of the instrumentation, finds it easy to get the entire chromatogram or the entire signals recorded properly. Now, recorder is nothing but a general PC or desktop wherein the system has already been installed, and it will then result into the formation of the spectrum, which is obtained in this particular form, wherein the peaks are obtained, and the spectrum always is formed from right towards the left, as in from the ending towards the beginning of the spectrum. Now, this was the general 7 different parts of the instruments of the visible spectroscopy. I've just given a summary of these parts into this particular in a written form. And this is the entire summary of the unit which we have done. As you can see, the slides are also arranged in the form of VibGyor, which is nothing but the visible spectrum. Thank you.